What's up, everyone? Swag here. Today, I'm gonna be talking about Callmecarson coming back and basically, defending him for this whole situation. He's been gone for about 7 months off YouTube because of a controversy. Um, you know, if you look into it at first, if you don't know, Carson was accused of grooming underage fans, and basically one of his friends, when he heard about this, he reported him to the FBI. Slimeskull, or whatever his name is, reported him to the FBI, and and then all his friends are going on drama channels trying to expose him, and then you can look at it and be like, oh, so this sounds pretty bad, right? So he's a confirmed pedophile. Turns out the girl was 17, he was 19. The girl was 17, he was 19. 2-year age gap. Not to mention, where Carson lives, the age of consent where he lives in is 16. So, yeah, and then everyone's like, oh, but he, it's not that it was a 2-year age gap, it's that he abused his power. Like, it's just because he was dating a fan doesn't mean that he's abusing his power. It's like, I'm already saying, like, what a lot of people say, but I just feel like getting it out there because it's so dumb. I definitely suggest you guys checking out Abba and Preach's video on Carson, Legality versus Morality. It's a very good video, well-educated video. So basically, Carson lives in a state where the age of consent is 16. And people are like, oh, but they sent nudes to each other. That's illegal. He received CP because she was 17 at the time. So let's get this straight. She was 17. Legal age, 16 in his state. So he can have sex with her when she turns 16. Legally, he can do that. He can be inside of her. He can literally have sex with her, receive nudes in real life, but he can't receive a picture of her. That doesn't make any sense. Like, see, there's a difference between legality and morality. You can literally use your logic. And the girl who even accused Carson of grooming her even apologized. And no, it's not like a fake account who stole her Twitter handle before she deactivated. This is her. This was her replying to a tweet, the full tweet that had 70K likes, basically just apologizing for calling him a pedophile and a groomer. And, I hope that she does get sued for this. I hope she gets sued. You can argue that where she lived in, the age of consent in her state was 18. She lives in Florida. So you can argue that, but it's a 2-year age gap. That's a common relationship. You can even date someone. A 15-year-old can date an 18-year-old. That's legal. Look it up. You can look it up. A 15-year-old, a 3-year age gap is legal. You cannot agree. You don't have to agree with it. You might think, oh, that's a bit more creepy. That's fine. But a 3-year age gap is legal. 4 years is not legal. 4 years is illegal. Carson had a 2-year age gap with this one girl. 2 years. And the fact that one of his best friends in his group literally reported him to the police, to the FBI, he's not a good friend. And then you got other people, big YouTubers like Troydan, comparing him to EDP445. EDP445 was a 30-year-old man who admitted to doing stuff, like just texting 6 minors. 6 minors. And he's 30. He's 30, and he went to meet up with a 13-year-old, who he thought was a 13-year-old. He got catfished, luckily. It was a decoy. It was a sting operation. But the fact that you guys are comparing a 2-year age gap to a confirmed pedophile is just ridiculous. I'm honestly glad that Carson's returning, and hopefully, he just makes a response video. I really don't get why he got help, because this is completely legal. And then people are like, but he only she wanted a real relationship, and he talked for the sexual part. If you look at the freaking text messages, you see that he says that he's scared to talk to her. You can see why now, because she comes out with this bullshit response, Now you see why Carson has trust issues, saying that, oh, I'm scared to talk to you, because he literally got called out by this girl for something that wasn't even illegal. It's mind-blowing how people on Twitter, I know it's Twitter, but it's still mind-blowing how everyone and his friends are just backstabbing him and like all that. That's crazy. It's crazy in my opinion, just for a 2-year age gap. No, granted, Carson did send nude back to the girl. It's still a 2-year age gap. You gotta remember that. It's 2 years. Well, I'm gonna keep defending Carson until, until something else comes out that he did something even worse. But if it's just 2 years, there's nothing wrong with that. If it's 3 years, nothing wrong with that, because that's legal. Okay, 2-year and a 3-year age gap is legal. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. 15 and 18 is legal. Especially 17 and 19 is legal. That is completely legal. I think more people need to be educated about that. All right? You just gotta be educated about that. Anyone with a functioning brain can know that. Like, how are you gonna go on Twitter, make some thread saying that he's a groomer when he was literally 2 years younger than you? Both were consenting to these sexual messages. You didn't tell him to stop or anything. You consented to it. And she can consent because where he's from, the age of consent is 16. I honestly do not get it. I do not get why people are canceling Carson for something that was very, very blown out of proportion. It's just mind-blowing, in my opinion. But that's basically what I want to say in this video. Just defending him. Carson is returning. He announced his return on Twitter. But, yeah.